a seat, sip some wisdom, and stay a while. This is the Prosperity Lounge, where growth gets personal. Step inside, we're breaking chains.
Hey everybody, just waiting for the other episode to end. Everybody should be coming over here shortly. Tried to time it right. I don't think I timed it right. There we go. Hold on a sec. Give everybody a chance to get over. Should automatically send everybody over. We'll see if that works like last time. Some people have to click on a button. Some people just sent. Let's see. It's supposed to just automatically send it. Okay, it's counting down. 3, 2, 1. Should automatically play it. There we are. Perfect. Yep. Got my Christmas background on today. Here we are. All right. So we just watched the video with Tracy Elliott. Tracy is a real estate real estate agent, I guess, in Lynchburg, Virginia area, and met her at the Liberty University CEO Summit. Got a couple more Liberty episodes left. I think I have about 5 or 6 of those left. There's 2 more that are. The audio is great. The conversation is fantastic, but the video quality for about half of it is really kind of poor. And I learned my lesson from that. So never again do I do it that way. I guess it's a hard lesson to learn, but once you learn it, you don't forget it. So, yep. That's the easiest thing to do there. Let's see here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I appreciate you sticking through that one, even though it was a little fuzzy at parts, but it definitely helps to watch that back and just listen to it. So it's up as an audio podcast now on everywhere, Spotify and Apple, things like that. So I would encourage you to go to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever, and look up the Prosperity Lounge podcast and just listen back to that episode. Most of them are up there as audio. There's a couple that are visual as well on Spotify, but definitely go there and check it out. Hey, how you doing? Hi, everyone here. If you're here for the first time, feel free to subscribe. Love to have you come back and check out our stuff. We're live every Friday. We're live for a live interview at 6 o'clock. And then every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, we do a live premiere. And immediately after, we do a live chat on the video we were just watched. So sitting here kind of doing a debrief of all that. So I appreciate you guys being here and checking us out on the short feed as well as the normal feed. Got it going both ways tonight. Using StreamYard here to do that. So thank you to StreamYard for having that option. So basically, again, we're going into the takeaway of the home buying, right? So we talk about prosperity, not just being about buying a house, it's about using assets intentionally. And how do we use assets intentionally? So real estate becomes powerful when it's paired with good decision making and long-term thinking. It's not fear or hype, right? So for you guys out there, do you see your home as security, an investment, or both? Put your answer in the chat. I love to hear what you guys have to say. You see your home as a security, you see it as an investment, you see it as both. I'd love to see your answers in the chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Yeah, welcome to the live stream as well. So this is what we're doing right now. Again, the live stream, I'll recap real quick here. The live stream is here every Wednesday, right after the main show. So we do an episode at 6 o'clock, sometimes for 30 minutes, sometimes for 25, 36, whatever. We go live right after. So if you're watching it, we automatically send to our live, redirected to watch the show. And then every Friday as well, we do a live episode at 6 o'clock, live interview radio show behind the scenes live stream. This Friday, I have Amy Shoemake from The Magical Vacations by Amy, um, alwaysmagicalyears.com. And she's going to come in and tell us about all these great vacation spots to look for in 2026. Where are we going? Where does everybody want to go? Got a cool spot you want to go to? Put it in the chat. I'd love to hear it. Where you're looking forward to going in 2026. We're going to find out some cool deals, what's out there, maybe some sleepers about where to go and stuff. So looking forward to that. That's on Fridays at 6. And then Monday, starting the first of the year, not the first week of the year, but the following Monday, the 5th, we're going to start doing something different. We're going to start doing some videos, interview videos on Monday, Wednesday, just like we did tonight with a live chat, a premiere, and then a live interview, a live takeaway afterwards, behind the velvet rope. This is the Prosperity Lounge, so everybody's welcome. It's kind of a behind the curtain kind of thing. We break down the episode. Sometimes we'll have our guests join us in the chat and afterwards in the live chat, so you can kind of ask some questions and feel free to bring that there as well. And then, yeah, that's gonna be Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Friday will be the live radio show still with some local people here in East Tennessee, talking leadership, community, small business, personal wellness, personal finance, nonprofit, whatever we got going on. We got a candidate for governor of Tennessee coming on in the new year in early January. Got nonprofit coming on in early January. So it's a nice mix of guests and people that we have for the Friday show, as well as the Monday and Wednesday. So that's gonna be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then also starting the beginning of the year, we have our daily dose of prosperity, short little 5-minute or less clip with some daily takeaways, some daily things you can do to be prosperous in the new year. That new year, new you kind of thing. Start off right. Just be some quick tips on every topic, any type of subject: budgeting, personal finance, small business, branding, marketing, leadership, community, self-worth, self-wellness, self-help, all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be fun to do. We also have some cool products coming out. We have our Prosperity Lounge Partners. Prosperity Lounge Partners directory is available now at prosperityloungepartnersdirectory.com. Well, hold on, let me double check that. I think so it is. ProsperityLoungePartners.com. ProsperityLoungePartners.com is our the chat here, if I can. Here we go. ProsperityLoungePartners.com. That is our directory. And that's where you can go and find people like trusted followers, trusted businesses that we've kind of vetted and looked at and checked out, especially the featured ones on there. Check out the free listings. If you have a business want to get listed, feel free to check that out as well. That's in beta right now. It's launched, but we're still revamping it a little bit, but it's there for anybody to check out and use as well. And then finally, starting in mid-January, we're going to have our Prosperity Council Mastermind. That's going to be launching in mid-January. The high-level mastermind group, meeting once a month, talking about business, growth, and connection, community, things like that. So, got a lot of cool things coming up in 2026 for the show and for the community. And as always, we have the prosperitylounge.com, free community space. You can go and that's about it. You can go register there, check it out. Once you register and join the community, you can go into the App Store, download the app, and then access to the community group space. That's free. Everything in there is always free in the lounge. And assets in there. You can download PDFs. There's files. There's a course in there. There's a free course in there as well. And then we have an additional course. But of course, there's free. Everything inside the lounge that's connected to it is free. And yeah, that is That's all the updates, guys. So, hey, everyone who's here. See some people in the chat right now. Uh, let's see. You got some new names in here. What's this? Who's this guy? Tad, Dude, Free K. How you doing? Nice to see you. What for a puff up? I don't know what that means. So, thank you so much for asking, but I don't know what you mean. All right, let's get back to talking a little bit more about the show and the takeaway from tonight. All right, so we talked again about prosperity being not just buying a house, but using assets intentionally. Okay, we got that real estate being powerful when it's paired with good decision making and not long term thinking or hype. With good long term thinking, not fear or hype. Perfect. Um, yeah, do you see your home as security and investment or both? Love to hear your takeaway on that. The other thing we talked about is real estate as a tool, not a trophy. And Tracy made it pretty clear in the conversation that real estate is not about status or transactions. It's about stability, it's about equity and optionality over time. So renting versus owning, for example, renting versus owning isn't moral, it's strategic. The goal being alignment, not comparison. So I want to hear your thoughts on that. Basically talking about you don't win by owning the biggest house, you win by owning the right house for your season, and that's your season of life. So if you're a single person without kids, you have no ties or connections, do you need to own a 20,000 square foot mansion or can you own a, 600 square foot apartment or condo, townhouse? And then as you have kids, you upgrade. And then when you're older, if you're an older elderly person, do you need, again, a giant house with stairs and lots of bedrooms, or can you go to a one floor rancher that's, a two-bedroom house? Again, it's all being strategic and about the season of life that you're in, and it's not about outdoing your neighbor or outdoing anybody else. It's what works for you. Another thing we talked about was hustle over mindset. And one of the strongest themes is you can't outwork bad thinking. So hustle without clarity leading to burnout. Growth happens when mindset catches up with effort. Think about that for a minute. Think about hustle without clarity. You're just grinding and grinding and grinding, but you don't know where you're going. You're gonna get burnt out. If you do know where you're going, you have a game plan and a map, you hustle, you're gonna just zoom down that road, right? There's that. If you don't know where you're going, you're gonna end up somewhere else. So that's that whole process if you don't have a map or a road plan. So you can hustle all you want, but if you don't know what you're doing with the hustle, you're just gonna be tired of the hustle. The hustle's paying off, you're gonna keep hustling, right? Growth happens when mindset catches up with effort. Exactly. That was another talking point that she made during the episode we talked about. Takeaway. So hustling, having the right mindset, using and burning and burning and burning and churning, that effort that you're putting in, growth's gonna catch up to that. But eventually you're gonna think about if you go to the gym, right? Or you're dieting. You're actually let's say the gym. You go to the gym, you start lifting weights, right? You're lifting weights and you start off with a 5-pound dumbbell and you do 10 bicep curls and you're tired. And next week you go to your next time you go to the gym, you do 10 bicep curls and you're a little less tired and then a little less tired. And eventually you're not tired anymore. You never change the weight. You always stay at 5 pounds. You're never gonna get any growth. So you're in the gym, you're hustling, you're going to the gym, you're working out, doing the work, but you're not growing. Growth is when you have to have the plan, "Okay, well, so I'm not tired anymore. I'm now gonna do 7 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds," and build up, build up, build up. Excuse me. Another thing we talked about is a bridge to prosperity, right? Here's the philosophy, right? We talk a lot in the show about uh, faith and action, faith and action working together. But mindset really determines how we act. So getting into things like equity equals flexibility. Tracy explained that equity creates choices. Downsizing, upsizing, buying down rates, investing, they all come from equity. Many people, they're rate locked. They're rate locked mentally, not financially. And I think that's a key takeaway. Um, if rates never went back to COVID levels, would you still make a move? Why or why not? Let me know in the chat what you're thinking here. Still there. And yeah, we got some chat questions going on so far. Everyone's favorite Christmas movies. We got some Christmas movies here of The Grinch. Okay. Christmas Vacation and Home Alone. Okay. Good questions there. Your favorite Christmas movie in the chat as well. Thank you. I'll answer mine in a bit. So you have to try to guess what mine is. You'll never guess. I have a few. There's a few that I like. Another thing we talked about was first time buyers, right? There's a fear versus process that happens with first time buyers buying a home. Buying your first home feels overwhelming. It feels overwhelming because it's unfamiliar. You've never done it before. Thing you've first time, right? So it's like maybe again, first time going to the gym. You're gonna feel overwhelmed because you're gonna walk in and not know any of the machines, how to do any of the exercises, and you may just turn around and leave, or you may decide I'm gonna stay and figure this out, or I'm gonna work with a trainer and they're gonna guide me through the process. And that's exactly what a real estate agent does. They're the trainer, they're gonna guide you through the process. The process becomes manageable when you have a clear budget. You have the right lender, but you also have the right agent. And I know there's a couple real estate people that come into the chat and check it out. And if they have anything they want to add to that, that'd be cool. Appreciate that. So one of the things that usually happens is there's usually a fear that you have initially that starts to fade once that path becomes visible. So that lender, that agent, your budget lay out a path for you of what you can afford. So trying to buy $1,000,000 home when you're making $20,000 a year, that's there's fear there because how am I gonna afford the payments? It's more than what I make. Or it's you wouldn't qualify. Well, let's just say you did. You were able to buy anything you want. There's a fear there because you wouldn't be able to make the payments. The right lender, the right agent's gonna direct you into your price range, and the lender's gonna get you the right rate and the right monthly payment option. Fits your budget, fits your needs, and allows you to, have a maintain a lifestyle and maintain a sense of, living while being comfortable in the home you're in. So, let's see here. If you're already paying a mortgage, the question is whose? Are you paying yourself, bank, or are you paying somebody else? That goes back to the whole owning versus renting option. If you're renting, you're paying somebody else's mortgage. Now that works for a lot of people. Some people rent their entire lives. That's wonderful and fine. It works for your financial situation. But if you ever wanted to own a home, um, think about it that way. You're already paying a mortgage, but you're paying it to somebody else, not paying it to yourself or for your situation to build your equity. You're paying for somebody else's. Think about that mindset before you get trapped in this, like, "I'm never gonna get out of here, never gonna own, I'm just gonna rent the rest of my life" mentality. talked about Tracy's definition of prosperity as well. So time, she came up with 4 that were really great. Time, freedom, joy, and relationships. How are we able to support those 4 things? We support them through, obviously, money. Money supports those things, and it isn't the destination, it's the journey to get you there. Prosperity is lived, not measured. That was a great takeaway as well, and she has some great stories and sound bites around those 4 points. I encourage you to go back and watch the episode or listen to the episode on any of your podcast networks, but watch it here, subscribe here, check it out. It'd be great. I'd love to see you in the chats. We talked about work-life balance. Work-life balance as a leadership skill. So Tracy's routines, like exercises, family time, they weren't extras for her. They were non-negotiables. One of the great quotes was, "Burnout steals joy, and joy fuels service." And comparison being a thief of joy. So again, burnout steals joy, and joy fuels service. So when you're joyful, you have joy, you can serve others. Burnout robs you of that joy. And then when you're robbed of that joy, you do not have the ability to serve others correctly. So think about that. And non-negotiables as well. I mean, non-negotiables are things where what are you not compromising about your day, your life, your routine? And then how are you making that work in your daily life? So here's a question for the audience as well. Put it in the chat if you have an answer for it. If your success costs you your joy, is it really success? Let me know in the chat if that's the case. If your success costs you your joy, is it really success? I got a big no in the chat. Yep, probably. I mean, I don't see how that would work otherwise. So absolutely. All right. I got some questions for you guys here based on the episode. Let's see. Where should I go? One, two, three. 3 questions. Everybody in the chat, pick a number, and I'll read that question. You don't know what it is, so just pick a number, 1, 2, or 3, and I will read that question. Alright, let's see what we got here. 2. Alright, Bucky, so let's read that. Let's read number 2. Are you buying, selling, holding, or still deciding when it comes to a house or home? Buying, selling, holding, or still deciding? Okay, Noxie, we'll get to question 3 in a second. Let's question 2 first. Question 2. Are you buying, selling, holding, or still deciding? Okay. Think about that. And then question 3. What does prosperity mean to you this season? So it's Christmas season, it's the holiday season, all that kind of stuff. What does prosperity mean to you this season? Love to hear your answers. Write it now, you can write it, come back later and write it, you put it in the comments. Love to hear that answer. I do wanna thank Tracy for being on the episode. Um, Thank you for watching it all. Did have some audio difficulties being in the room we're in. It was the first day trying to figure out a bunch of stuff as well as the video issues, streaming the issue versus recording it, and then we got that all figured out on day 2. Day 2 videos are a lot better than day 1, but there were some great conversations from day 1, and I don't want to share those with you. It also shows the growth of the show as well, where, we started off those are one of a couple of our first on-site interviews and how we the show progressed as well from that time to now. Having supportive friends that feel like more like family than friends. Yeah. No, that's a great answer, Bucky's. Great answer. So, love you all to watch that again, and then Prosperity Lounge, it's always here. We're about real conversations, real decisions, real growth, and, we always say that try to turn insight into action. So, that's all for the takeaway from the episode. Um, Gonna hang out here a little bit longer and chat with you all because there's a couple of you in here that are new. I appreciate it, and, love to, see what y'all got going on in the chat here. I did say I'd mention one of my favorite Christmas movies. There's so many that are pretty good. I do like Scrooged with, Bill Murray. That's an interesting one. It's kinda like a take on A Christmas Carol and, like, Ebenezer Scrooge, and there's a couple, like, scary parts in there when you're younger or a kid, I guess, I don't know, but not really. But it's a funny one. I like Bill Murray, he's in Ghostbusters and most other stuff. I was, "Oh, it's Bill Murray, I'll watch that." But, yeah, I think it's, PG-13 or R-rated, so that's about it. Um, so that's a good one. Heard a lot of people today at a meeting talked about the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. A few other ones, so that's about it. Um, Santa Claus the movie was another answer back from the '80s. Those are a few. Um, I don't know what you mean in the chat there. I don't know who that is, so don't know. Try to keep it clean if you can. Appreciate you being here, but keep it clean. We got some, oh, yeah, upcoming guests. So upcoming guests this week, we have, Amy from Simply Magical Vacations. Amy's gonna come on, talk real estate. She's gonna talk about travel and best places to go in 2026, best deals, her experience traveling the world, her favorite places, things like that. So it's gonna be a fun one. Amy's very cool. She sponsored our Christmas show, and, that's pretty much, should be fun for that. And then let's see, we're not gonna have a show. We're gonna not gonna have a radio show following 2 weeks for Christmas, and, but we'll do a live stream. So we'll be here doing a live stream, keep people happy 'cause I like being on here, and, so first that'll be the weekend day after Christmas, day after New Year's. We'll be back live on the 9th, and so still doing the live stream. So we're doing the Wednesday drops and things like that. So, um, as we roll into our new schedule with the show and the channel. I'm trying to see what you say here. Do you believe in the necessary rational principles? Hmm, good question. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be considered that, right? Law of identity. I know that's one of them. Law of excluded middle. Law of identity is a thing is what it is. Something cannot be both itself and not itself at the same time. It's like a dollar is a contract's a contract, things like that. The other one is, the law of excluded middle. added is, statements is either true or false, right? There's no third option. It can't be like the bill was paid, like you go to a restaurant, the bill was paid. It's either was paid or wasn't paid. There's no third option. I know it's one of them. Statement can't be both true or false at the same time. That's another one. I think that's non-contradiction. That's another one. There's so many. Uh, trying to remember from stuff here. Sufficient reason was another one. It's like everything exists or happens, has a reason or an explanation. Things don't just happen without cause. Um, there's that one. And there's one more. Gosh. Mhm. Causality. Causes precede effects. That's the other one. Okay. I know what you're talking about now. Overspending causes debt, not the other way around. Okay. That's this example. Yeah. Effect cannot occur without cause. Hasn't been that long since I remember these, but do I believe them? I mean, what do you think there? You asked the question, but what do you believe in the chat? Just gave you all the answers, all the, steps there. You're still watching. What do you think? Do you believe those as well? I mean, I think it's very true, most of those, right? So they're considered laws, especially the ones that are laws. They've been tested to be proven. The only one is the principle. Everything happens or exists has a reason or explanation. It's the only one that's not a law. Oh, take that as you will, that one. Interesting question. Thank you for asking that. I don't know if I answered your answer right, but indie video game developer, is that somebody you wanna see on the show, gamer girl? Okay. Well, if there's any specific indie video game developer you follow or like, definitely, tag me on their stuff, and I'll reach out to them. That'd be a good one too. I just don't know who to turn to. So, that'd be pretty cool. We could definitely do that as an interview on a Wednesday or Monday show. Alright, well, if anybody's got any other questions, food blog or eating competition. Yep, yep, I know a couple that I'm going to reach out to do the podcast for sure. That'll be fun. I think an eating competition person would be amazing. Food bloggers are pretty cool. Just there's a few that I've seen, few people that, like, live in RVs and travel around full time. That's another one that I'll, think about bringing on. So, yeah, well, I appreciate everybody being here. I don't know what else to, talk about. Kinda did the breakaway for the show. That's about it. I'm happy to put on a, fireplace scene for you guys to watch for a while. See if I can do that. Oh, can I do a actual fire? Let's see. Give you guys something cool to watch. No, I can't. Okay. Not with the background. Give me a sec, guys. Figure this out for you. All right, everybody. So, if you guys like that kind of scene and stuff, like I'm happy to. I have a couple, some cool shots put up like that, and people can come in and watch a nice uh, fireplace scene, I guess, during the. You know, there's a couple. You guys want me to? There's a couple cool places around with like lights and stuff like that. Like, oh, what am I saying? Holiday lights and stuff like that. I'm happy to go out and do that as well and check that out. Um, back of the full screen. So there we go. Yep. Do some holiday light walking and stuff like that. That'd be fun to do, I think. So maybe I'll do that for a little bit. I don't know if I'll do that tonight or tomorrow, depending on probably not tonight. It's already been like 3 episodes tonight, so I don't know if I'll go live again and again and again. Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow night I have nothing on the schedule, so maybe we'll do tomorrow night. We'll plan to go do a couple Christmas light, holiday light tour decorations, walkthroughs, stuff like that. And you guys can see how they decorate around here. So that'll be fun to do. Any other last minute housekeeping you want to check care of? Let's see here. Do that there. Okay. Don't think there's anything else going on right now, except for our show on Friday is the next one. Just checking emails, voicemails. No. Last minute stuff here. Sorry, guys. Just give me a minute. Okay. Think we're good. All right. Yeah, I think we're good. So, yeah, we're gonna look out for some cool guests in the new year. Got a whole bunch of people that came up to me today at a networking event, and they all handed me their cards. They're like, "Hey, when can I come on the show?" So, a bunch of cards to go through and reach out and who's gonna be good for the radio, who's gonna be good for a podcast. We're also been doing some more location stuff too, either at somebody's business and filming them there and showing off their business. So, like, restaurants, trying the food, eating it while we're talking, have a conversation, see like coffee shops, drinking some coffee while we're talking. Think that'd be fun. Start doing that a little bit more like 2026, almost at 2025, but it's 2026, almost 2027. Ooh, wait a second. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but is that gonna be a big thing next year, like, at the end of the year? Like, say next December when it's 2026, almost 2027, are people gonna go like, 2026, almost 2027, start doing some 7 stuff with that? Like, I really hope not. Kids today, man, they try to find any reason they can to do it, so it is, they say, annoying, but c'est la vie. Um, excuse me. I had 2 interviews today for upcoming episodes that are gonna air probably in February. Fantastic guests, can't wait to share them with you. Um, got about 8 or 9 episodes pre-recorded so far for that, and like I said, we're still working on our daily release, sort of 5-minute daily dose of prosperity, Monday through Friday, we're gonna release those. 3 to 5 minutes long, real quick, easy stuff for you guys to watch and ingest and have a takeaway. That should be fun. Alright, well, I'm gonna jump off, and I gotta go mail some packages here before it gets too late. Had some eBay and Poshmark sales. I have to go out so people can get their stuff for the holiday. And yeah, anything going on tomorrow? Nope. Friday, yeah, Friday's the show. Anything else on the calendar? About it. Oh, I did wanna mention I was interviewed for a podcast the other day. I did a podcast Sunday night. Um, I'm try to get a copy of it, put it up. It's on their channel. I just can't remember what their channel is. So I'm gonna try to put a copy on my channel to watch so you can see all about the book I wrote, or the books I've written, and the process of writing and stuff like that. So pretty cool. We really talked about it before, but it was cool to talk about. So I appreciate the opportunity for that. I got a couple more podcasts coming up that we're gonna be able to, talk on and promote the show a little bit and get in front of a different audience. So I'm looking forward to that very much. Alright, so we're gonna save my voice a little bit and hop off here just shortly. Almost at 45 minutes, so I'll wait till the 45-minute mark and hop off. We'll go from there. But I appreciate you all hopping on, staying on, checking it out, coming in, seeing what this is about, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And we're always here. Like I say, the lounge is always open, so you're always able to come by and check us out, see what we're up to, check out the community space, do all that fun stuff. But, yeah, so I'll usually end it how I usually end it, and that is freedom lives where faith and action meet. The lounge is always open. So is your next breakthrough. This has been the Prosperity Lounge. Thank you all for, being here, and we'll see you Friday.